All right, the first motor that we're going to tackle is the motor that is generally associated with Tomy, Plarail, Gordon, Henry, and James. And that's this motor right here. This is a DC Mini 130 electric motor. And this is generally what's in all the trains. It's a 1.5 volt motor. And I do have power, so we're going to go ahead and turn it on. We've got power, and there it goes. Now, I intentionally drew on it those black marks that you see right there, so you can actually see something turning. It might just be white without it. There it goes. Now you hear that little click. All right, now what I want you to pay attention to is way down deep inside. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus there. Way down deep inside, right down there, way underneath all that, is a worm gear. All right. Now, when I first turn it on, watch what happens right here at this little ramp. This ramp. What it'll do, it'll compress this gear down, and there's springs right there. And that spring is designed to have it always pushed up. So if you push it, turn on the switch, see it depressing. Now it's going to come in and click. There it is. Now we're turning, and you heard the click right there. That's what's causing you, when you turn on your train, you hear the little click. Is that little tiny bump right there. Turn it off now. Now, what that's designed for is, if you just want to push your train around by hand, it'll spin. Notice the worm gear down there is not spinning. That means none of the other gears that is located back in here are turning. All right. So that helps to prevent from tearing up the train, because of that spring's always pushing that gear up, not coming in contact with that worm gear. So we'll do it one time. Hits the ramp, pushes the gear down, and there you're off. You're off and running. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it off. Disconnect from the power. And let's take this train apart. All right, we're going to roll it back over here, because they are basically 4 screws holding this whole thing together. So let's go ahead and take it apart. All right, now this is the reason why I made this video. I had a couple people ask me to make this video, but also when I first took these trains apart, I didn't know how to put them back together again. So I started taking pictures. And if you do work on these trains, pull out your camera and take a picture. Take a picture of about what you're about to see. Lift it up. Now is where you should take a picture. Take a picture of that so you can always reference back to it. All right, so what do we got going on here? We got the 130 DC motor, and it has a shaft on it, and it's got its gear right there, and there's a transition gear from the motor to this gear sitting right here. All right, and then it's connected to the worm gear. All right, and that's where the switch gear comes up and makes contact with it. Okay, now to take it apart, put it down, and you don't want to lose this little spring right here. See that little spring? Don't lose that spring. Be careful with it. Alrighty. Take that there. And this transitional gear, take it right there, put it there. Now, we just can't take the motor out. It is actually connected on the other side, right here, to the switch. They put a piece of solder right there and soldered the 2 pieces together. So all you got to do is take a soldering iron, touch it, and let it disconnect. Okay, hang on just a second. Got a little problem right there. All right. So now we're not quite apart yet. We got to take the switch apart. Now we're all the way apart, and what this part of the switch does, over here, see that loop? What it does is connects this end of to that end and make a complete connection on the battery that runs it up into the motor. So let's put it back together now. Sometimes this could be hard getting it right here back in its hole. There's its hole it's got to go back into. It's a close fit. Tight fit, I should say. And having a camera in front of your face doesn't help you with it. Okay, now time to connect the motor back in. Where's the motor? Right there. Put it back in its slot. All right, now we come back in with the iron. Let it sit for a second. Roll it back over now. And now it's time to assemble it back all together. Let's see what we can do here. This is the hardest part for me to do, is this little gear right here. All right, it's in. Now we're going to put the worm gear back in its spot. And this little gear goes in its spot. And then this one goes back there. All right, now time to put the other half back on. All right. All right, let's see if I put it back together properly. Connect it back to its power source. Got this little black tape on here, electrical tape, so the two ends don't touch each other. All right, moment of truth here. Let's see what happens. All right, still runs. Okay, well that is your disassembly, assembly of a Gordon, Henry, James type Tomy Plarail. Thanks for watching.